My granddad, Clifford Smith, started the Cackle Hatchery back in 1936 with him and his wife. And then in 1964, my dad, Clifton and Nancy Smith, came back into the business, took over the business at that time. And they're still the current owners, and I'm the third generation, so that's kind of how we got started. It's been about 76 years now. So we're one of the few surviving hobby hatcheries in the United States. Back in the 1940s and the 30s and even into the 50s, there were a lot of small hatcheries in almost every town in the USA. But as people migrated to the cities, supermarkets evolved, a lot of that home life or farm life kind of went away, so the little hatcheries in every town just kind of withered away.
And so we've had to build it up. They started in with rare breeds and so forth, and through the years we've just it's just boomed in the last 10 years with people wanting birds for lots of different reasons. They want them for health reasons, they want something like their grandma had, they want their children to experience that. They want to know what they're eating too, and what the birds have eaten, and what the eggs have been, what the chicken's been fed, so that they know that they're healthy.
Well, we have about 190 different varieties or color varieties of different poultry. Everything from turkey, ducks, geese, game birds, which would include, pheasants, ornamental pheasants, your chuckers, your different types of quail. Then there's different types of bannies, different types of standard chickens, turkeys. We have the commercial broad-breasted bronze and the white, and then we have more of the heritage type turkeys, which are more considered more of a rare turkey. They don't get as big, they live longer. So yeah, about 190 different varieties at this time. We bring on maybe 1 to 4 new varieties each year, just to try to have something new and different.
We furnish the breeders to all of our flock owners. We call them flock owners because they own that flock, okay? They feed them, and we buy the eggs back. And it's all in nothing contract, it's just word of mouth, and we have a good relationship. And a good many of our flock owners are Amish people. They have the families and then the amount of people to gather the eggs properly and get them done several times a day, and they take such good care of them.
Our market is for the small co-op feed farm and ranch stores. There's some chains, big chains that we cater to, and a lot of sole proprietary type of feed stores that we provide chick days for. And then about the other 50% of our market is direct retail mail order sales. So the commercial market, they're kind of geared more towards either a meat type turkey production or your Cornish cross, which is the chicken that we eat today in most stores, or if you're going to a restaurant, or the egg layer operations. So they're more geared for those particular breeds and in mass quantities. So we're kind of a hobby farm because even though we still sell some of that, it's in very small quantities, and we have a lot of other varieties of butchering birds, egg layers, fancy type of chickens. A lot of them are used for pets. A lot of people show them. So a lot of our market is driven from I think a lot of people getting back to the rural life, wanting to know a little bit about husbandry. They remember what grandma used to do, and they want to kind of copy that or teach their kids that. There's a lot of concerns about what's in our food today, so they want to see what's going into their food that they're eating. It's a lot of these elements. I think it's getting back to basics. I think there are some people that are just kind of scared. They kind of want to be self-sufficient, so they kind of want to learn how to have a garden, have some livestock, this type of thing. Well, I think the hobby farm type concept is going to stay, and I think it's moving even more to the urban area, even if you don't have acreage to work with. But people are finding out ways in the city to have a small garden or have that small coop of chickens, in the city. So There are city ordinances being changed all over the United States daily on allowing chickens in the city limits. Usually there's a limit on it or a space requirement, but it ranges. You just have to go look at your own city ordinance. That's happening all over the United States where they're changing those ordinances. Generally, they won't allow you to have a rooster, because of the crowing and this type of thing. So I think most cities, the only concern they have is the noise, the smell. So I think they're limiting the amount and then the square footage. And, I think if they keep it relatively clean and not smelly, I think, they're not going to have any problems. But I see that just building and growing. I think, again, everybody wanting to be able to be self-sufficient, be able to learn these types of things, know husbandry, and so I think it's going to continue to go that way.